Good morning. How are y'all doing? It is Saturday, July 13th, almost 7 a.m. And this is my update video for my GoFundMe campaign. I will also be adding an update text to the actual campaign. I know I haven't let y'all know anything, what's going on since the first video, but honestly there haven't been any updates to give until yesterday. I am still at the nursing home, skilled nursing facility where I've been doing my physical therapy and wound care. That will be changing Monday though. I went to my podiatrist yesterday and he determined that I have new infection in my foot. I have 6 wounds in my foot that for the most part have been healing, but very slowly. And when I went back to him yesterday, he got some pus out of them, 3 of them. And for the past week, a little more, the healing has stagnated more than before. So he says I've got infection coming back in my foot and that I need to go back on antibiotics and that I also need to have more surgery. I'm not thrilled about that, but there doesn't seem to be any other option. He says my foot still seems viable, but he wants to take the last 2 toes I have on my right foot so he can really get in there behind them and dig out infection, necrotic tissue. He said when he does that, then he'll really be able to close it up and promote healing again. I'm not entirely confident in that because that's what I was told when they took the last 2 toes. And that was well over a month ago. Closer to 2 months ago. And here we are in this situation now. But like I said, I guess I don't have a choice. So I will be being discharged from here Monday morning and going back to my local hospital here in St. Augustine to get that done. Like I said, I'm not happy about this. I'm hesitant and more than a little worried. The last time I was on the OR table, I almost died. They said I went into extreme shock and they nearly lost me. I woke up in the ICU the next morning. And they told me that I came awful close to dying on the table. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what's going on. I will likely post another quick update Monday after I get to the hospital and know a little bit more about what's going to go on. And then I will of course post a after surgery update. I'm gonna go chop my foot up even more. After this is done, it's not even gonna look like a foot. But like I said, I don't have a choice. And as long as I keep my foot, for now at least. That's the main thing. There were a few comments on my previous video, not too many, a few, questioning my reasoning for doing what I'm doing, why my insurance doesn't pay for everything. Somebody said that it doesn't make sense that I didn't have gas to see my oncologist. So I thought I would address some of those things here in this video. I don't mind answering any questions y'all have. Like I said in the other video, I want to be as transparent as possible, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm not being honest. So as far as my insurance, I have Medicare through United Healthcare. Some things it does pay for completely. It pays for my prescriptions, which is a godsend because I'm right now on 12 different prescriptions, and there is no way that I could begin to pay for them if the insurance didn't cover them. But at the same time, it doesn't pay for everything. There's a lot of stuff that it doesn't pay for, a lot of stuff that doesn't pay completely. A couple of days ago, I got a bill in the mail from this facility that I'm at now for $12,000. And I have a much higher bill than that from the hospital. I'm not a senior citizen. The Medicare that I have doesn't pay for everything. And my dad is 65, and he has to fight like hell, just like I do, to get certain things done. There's several people in here in the nursing home that are well into their senior years, and they're going through the same thing. So I'm sorry, I don't know where you got the idea that my insurance should pay for everything. It does not. I wish it did. There's still so much that I need to try to fix from the aftermath of the chemotherapy and just the cancer, having been through so much over the past 10 years. I need a bunch of dental work that I can't afford. I need eye surgery. I've got these bleeding vessels in my right eye that have to be cauterized, and it's just so much. On to the next. Someone had commented, why don't you sell your house? There's a few reasons why I don't sell my house. Number one is, yes, I could probably sell it fairly quickly and easily because the housing market in St. Augustine, Florida is on fire right now. However, if I sold my house, I would have to pay off the mortgage first. And that would be well more than half of what I could get for my house right now. So by the time I was done, I wouldn't be able to buy another place. I would have to rent. And I would most likely have to go outside of St. Augustine. Right now, basic studio apartments are going for $2,000 a month. And that's more than what I'm paying for my mortgage. The mortgage payment is high and difficult on my Social Security, but as long as I can maintain it, I'm going to, because as long as I can do that, I have a stable, safe place to live, and I can't guarantee that if I strike out into the housing market anywhere right now, and I couldn't guarantee that I'd be able to stay. Uh, Having to try to deal with all these medical costs and then trying to manage rent. Murphy loves me. You know, Murphy's Law. I'm afraid that if I did that, I would end up renting someplace and then my health getting worse, and I wouldn't be able to keep up the rent, and then I would just be out on the street, you know, living in the back of my pickup truck. Most importantly, if I did that, I would not be able to get another place in St. Augustine. Like I said, I would have to relocate outside of St. Augustine, and if I do that, I would lose my 50-50 custody of my son, and I cannot do that. My son is my world. He's my anchor. He's what keeps me going, you know. If I didn't have him, I'd probably give up. I am a stubborn, bull-headed Pollock, strong-willed. I believe in fighting, but at the same time, I've been through a lot, and I'm just not that strong on my own anymore. My son keeps me going. As it is, when my wife left me, I came very close to doing something really stupid because I was angry. I was beyond hurt, depressed, afraid. I came really close, but thinking of my son got me through. I put the knife down, and I'm still here. And I have my son to thank for that. If I can't keep him in my life, there's no point. That leads into another comment. Why don't I move out of state to somewhere cheaper to live? Firstly, same thing, I wouldn't have my son. My parents are here, and I don't have any other family anywhere else. And I've only got a couple of people that I can say are close friends. If I moved to another state, I would be alone, which has always been my preference for the most part. But I've come to realize in the past few years that I'm not an island, and I can't do this alone. Usually all I need is somebody to talk to, or somebody to reassure me that we're going to get through this and things will be okay. But if I relocate, I'll be alone, and again, probably just give up. Not to mention, yes, it is expensive to live in Florida, and it has gotten worse in the last couple of years because so many people are moving here. But on the other side of that coin, Florida is one of the best places to live in the country right now. I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that. That is not what this is about. But aside from it being expensive, Florida is a really good place to live. And I've got a lot of great medical care here, a lot of great options that I may not have elsewhere. If I have to go for more proton therapy, I have that in Jacksonville. And Mayo Clinic here in Florida is making some of the best and ambitious advancements in cancer research and treatment. So, you know, everything that I'm dealing with, it's better for me to stay where I'm at. And then why couldn't I afford gas to go back to my oncologist? Well, again, everything has gotten more and more expensive here over the past couple of years. all over the country, particularly gasoline. And after my wife left, I have been trying to exist and live on just my Social Security checks, which is not a lot. I was in remission in 2021, and I have to make sure that my mortgage and my utilities are paid, that there's food in the house, and my son is taken care of. So me going back and forth between St. Augustine and Jacksonville was an acceptable loss. That's a 35 or so mile one-way trip, and it had gotten so bad that I cannot afford to drive out of town. Gas is that expensive, and I don't drive a extremely fuel efficient vehicle. One, I can't afford them, and two, I'm a mechanic. I can work on the old stuff, so that's what I like and that's what I drive. I've never liked modern vehicles. After a little while, they're more hassle than they're worth, and when the warranty runs out, it seems like everything nowadays, it's time to get a new one, and I can't do that. So I had to make the choice to stop going to my oncologist. I know a lot of people may not understand, that being such a big deal, but it was for me. I have a local oncology group here in St. Augustine. They are affiliated with the group that I saw originally back in 2014 that basically lied to me and told me that proton therapy would not work for my kind of cancer, and that I needed to stay with them because they didn't offer proton therapy. They offered photon therapy, and proton therapy is harder on the cancer and easier on the patient, but they chose to fight for my dollar instead of my health. And that's why I've been hesitant to go see somebody here in town. But again, I don't have a choice now. Things get better. If GoFundMe pans out enough, I will start going back to Mayo Clinic. And before anybody says anything, this is not my first choice. This is not what I want to do, going through GoFundMe. I have looked far and wide for different programs to help, different ways and means to get some help. I may be able to get a little bit of help through the American Cancer Society if my cancer is back. I don't know how much or to what extent. But one thing that makes life hard, the little amount that I get from Social Security, especially by today's cost of living standards, also makes it to where I don't qualify for many of the aid programs that are out there. Again, I don't make a lot on my Social Security checks, but apparently it's enough to make it to where I don't qualify for financial aid in a lot of cases. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I am continuing to search for alternative programs and ways and means to help. I would love nothing better than to not have to ask regular folk for help, At the same time, several people have donated, and I am beyond grateful for that. There have been a lot of times in my life where I haven't had a very high opinion of people at large, But this especially has shown me that there are still good and kind people out there. And I will square it up with each of you one day if I'm ever able to. You have my word on that. And I will definitely pay it forward. So that's what it is. That's where I'm at right now. Like I said, I'm quite happy to answer any of y'all's questions. I'm happy to share medical diagnosis, screenshots, PDFs, whatever I can do, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm not being honest about this. Unfortunately, I'm being deathly honest about this. I will continue to update y'all as to what's going on and how things go. So that's it. Thank you very much to all of you who have donated or intend to donate. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And for those of you that have sent prayers and well wishes, I thank you so much for that too. And for those of you that don't agree with me or think I'm not doing things right, I appreciate that. And I'm not angry or anything like that. I'm just, I'm doing the best that I can. Believe me, I have thought long and hard about all of this. So I'm going to get out of here. This video's gone on too long. I will be posting updates much sooner as things are changing and moving now. Thank you all so much. Hope you all have a great weekend. Goodbye.